Well, I think the main thing that you're looking at when you have a team that, like the Buffalo Bills, where they are right now as a franchise, when you have that rookie quarterback on his rookie deal, it's that window to sort of maximize the level of talent around that quarterback. And you want to do everything you can to help that quarterback excel so you can really sort of hit it big during that rookie contract window. And studying, Josh Allen back in his days at the University of Wyoming, now through where he is in the National Football League, I think everybody really expected him to be a great downfield, vertical-based passing quarterback. But that was one part of his game that was missing last year. I was very impressed with what Brian Dable did with him, almost turning him into a timing and rhythm-based passer. But he struggled in the downfield part of the game. And I think that's why the Stefon Diggs acquisition is so huge for them, because he is that sort of vertical downfield threat. He's not your traditional X-type guy that's going to, that 6'4" type guy on the boundary. But when you watch him on film, you see the route running. You see the way the Vikings used him. 29 targets of 20 yards or more downfield last year. That was third most among wide receivers in the league. And on those 29 targets, 6 of those went for touchdowns, which is the most out of any wide receiver in the league. He gives them that downfield presence. And the trickle-down effect that a receiver like that has on everything you do offensively. As a result, the Bills are going to see more two-high coverage, more two safeties, deep, protecting each side of the field. That lightens up the box. And so whoever it is, whether it's Singletary or another acquisition, is going to be running against lighter boxes. Diggs is going to create space for the guys underneath, like Beasley, like Brown. And he's going to give Josh Allen that target he can find in the downfield passing game, where if Josh starts hitting on some of those, it really softens up the defense. And so I think both what Diggs will do for Allen as well as the trickle-down effects he's going to have on that offense, it's such a huge acquisition from them. And then you look at some of the
That's a big if, isn't it, Mark? I mean, that was a big problem for Josh Allen last year. And look, Steve and I both think he's working on it, and it will get better. But he's got to be better on the deep passing game.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I think if you look at, various statistics, like, for example, Pro Football Focus, their adjusted completion percentage on downfield throws, he was 23rd out of 24 qualified passers in that statistic last year. It was one of his strengths coming out of Wyoming was the downfield vertical passing game. And so to see him struggle with it last year, it's a bit of a surprise, but it's certainly something that he's working on. And since it was a strength of his coming out, you expect that he can get better there and get better quickly. And Diggs will certainly help. And if you start hitting those throws downfield, man, you can really do so many things against the defense with the stuff they can do in the ground game, the space it's going to create up front. You can create the space underneath for guys like Beasley and Brown. It's such a big deal. If they can start hitting on those with the other strides Josh Allen has made as a passer, it's going to be huge for his development and what he can do next year.
Now on the line with Mark Schofield from USA Today, NFL writer for USA Today's Touchdown Wire. Hey, Mark, Touchdown Wire gives the Bills an A for their free agent haul. Diggs, of course, came in a trade. What do you like about the Bills' 7 free agents they've signed?
Well, I think the Diggs portion is a huge part of that, because you want to sort of, help what your young quarterback is doing. But I also think, look, you bring in Jefferson, you bring in Butler, that's going to give you some help at front. And I also think they deserve a lot of credit, not for a guy that they brought in, but a guy they kept. And that's Jordan Poyer, the free safety. Because when you study this Bills defense over the past couple of years, you see the way those safeties, Poyer and Hyde, work in tandem. I come to this as sort of a guy that covers the Patriots as well, and I see how those safety rotations confused Tom Brady over the past couple of the seasons, how Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde were able to confuse him at the snap at times, which is something that's really hard to do. I mean, it's Tom Brady, 20 years in the league, one of the greatest of all time. And when you confuse him, you're going to have success confusing some of the other quarterbacks in this league, having success confusing some of the other receivers when they're trying to read those rotations as well. And so I think keeping Poyer in-house was a massive move for this defense. It's going to really help them confuse quarterbacks and wide receivers next season.
I know that the Bills signed a bunch of defenders during the early part of free agency or in the early tampering side. They agreed to terms with these guys. Did any of them grab you or stand out to you as maybe being better than the rest?
I think the Vernon Butler acquisition is a big one up front. I like what he brings to the table. I think he's one of those defensive tackles that you can use in a variety of ways when you can see him sort of handle the run game. He can get some pressure, push the pocket a bit, can give you some of that as well as an interior pass rusher. I think that's a nice acquisition. I think, Jefferson and Addison, those are guys that will give you, some ability off the edge to get after the quarterback a little bit. But I do like the Butler acquisition. I think that was a really nice piece for this defense.